Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Augusta High School and Hooter Gymnasium for tonight's varsity boys basketball contest between our guests, the Winfield Vikings, and your Augusta Orioles. At this time, we ask that you please stand and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem by the Augusta High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Todd Hollis and James Hollingsworth.
Hey, welcome back. Kurt Caton, Matt Shelton, Institute of Engineering, D. Carmichael. Big thanks to Eddie, giving Matt and I a chance to chill for a little bit here. Boys got action here, Matt. And for the Orioles, you know, they graduated a lot of those really good players that made it to state, but Ben Pons told us in the postgame on Friday, you know, that it's a culture, and you really can't afford to look past these guys here, even though they might have some different names out there.
Yeah, I know. I've been impressed. I think last year when we were here, I remember telling you, I felt like the conference last year was pretty balanced. But there was something about Augusta. They just kind of had a different gear. I remember from, you know, first of all, I know that there was so much parity. It felt like you might get the right team on the right night and see, because I was really impressed with Circle last year as well.
Yeah.
But certainly there's a culture here of good basketball, and I'm trying to remember the big kid's name that went to Pitt State to play football, 6'5", 6'6".
Clousing? Was it a Clousing?
No.
Or was it a...
Oh, my goodness. He was a defensive end on the football team.
Yeah.
I remember Jet Bandy was he was a really good point guard. Oh, my goodness. Number 5 was his number on the football team. I forget. Kurt will think of it.
Well, I don't know.
Kid was a player, had a dunk here last year, if I remember correctly.
This has been a tough place to play for the Vikings. Let's run down the starters here for Winfield. We'll give them first here. The Vikings will start Riley Yingling, a 5'10" senior. Boy, we got to get these rosters fixed. Ian McCauley, a 6'5" senior. Niall Franklin, a 6'2" senior. Julian Washington, a 6'1" senior. And Trey Teal, a 6'3" junior. So it's McCauley, Teal, Franklin, Washington, and Yingling for head coach Ben Pons and the Winfield Vikings. For Augusta, Morgan Livingston, a 6'2" senior. Josh Burton, a 5'10" senior. Caden McDaniel, a 6'5" junior. Gavin Kaiser, a 6'3" sophomore. And Caden Heibarger, a 5'9" junior. So it's Livingston, Burton, McDaniel, Kaiser, and Heibarger for head coach Ryan Petty and the Augusta Orioles. And tell you what, they really get it packed in here, and the band is loud, and it's not an easy place to play, that's for sure. For the Vikings, Matt, I thought going into the season, their size with Teal and McCauley and some of those guys would be huge. That really hasn't played a part here in the first 2 games for Winfield.
Yeah, if you think about it, the size that the Vikings have, unfortunately, they're not really true back of the basket big. So they've got size in Teal, they've got size in Franklin, they've got size in McCauley, but they're kind of all, you know, 3s and 4s, maybe a stretch 4. Really, none of them are true centers for sure, which, you know, it allows you to play a a fast style of basketball that Coach Ponce likes to play, but then at the same time, you don't necessarily match up well with size if somebody's, a team that has a good post player, is what I'm trying to say.
Opening tap won by Teal and the Vikings, and we're underway here, game 2 of our doubleheader. Winfield girls winning 48-34. We'll talk to Jason Benjon at halftime. Yingling driving baseline, feeds into the corner. McCauley open for a 3, no good. 2 Vikings battling for the rebound. Teal eventually ripped it away from Franklin, and then Teal got fouled by Caden McDaniel.
Love the start. Love the penetration by Yingling there, creating. He's their true point guard. He's the quarterback of the football team, and he's the quarterback of the basketball team. Good driving kick, good decision, good look from 3 by McCauley. And then the Vikings crash the boards and get Teal to the free throw line. So, good start here, possession 1.
Hey, I was just curious your thoughts. Offensively, we've seen Winfield score 2 games in the 30s. I feel like they're capable of more. What do you think has to happen?
Well, this sounds about as simplistic, but it really is true. You got to make shots. And Winfield has struggled to hit shots, especially from the perimeter. We talked about that 2-3 zone they've gotten packed in on, and when you're not hitting, it becomes infectious. And that's really, if they can have a good shooting night one of these nights, stretch the defense out a little bit, you might see the whole thing blow wide open.
Well, Augusta struggled a little bit against the 2-2-1 press. Then they got it up court, and a nice no-look pass to Gavin Kaiser down inside. And Trey Teal, who really had to fight foul trouble on Friday night, picks up a quick one here, and the first free throw good by Kaiser. Teal made 1 out of 2, so we're tied at 1.
So, Kurt, we're going to go wardrobe here for a second. What do you think of the new fad of, so the long shorts are gone, and now it's tuck your shorts up into your long underwear, I guess? It's not just, a lot of kids do it. It's pull your shorts up as high as you can go, and it's funny how it is funny how the trend, at least the baggy shorts I understood because it seemed like it'd be more comfortable. Now it's got a little on hand.
But Fast 5 really
yes,
took it to a different level.
But the tight shorts, doesn't seem comfortable to me.
That's back to the early 80s. Winfield with the basketball. Yingling, a good look at 3, no good. Julian Washington had a lot of the ball, but eventually his momentum took him into the back, and there'll be a foul on Julian.
That's just one of those calls that, if that doesn't happen in front of the referee, because you're right, he had a lot of basketball there, you got to call it because the offensive player lost his positioning from it, but really a good hustle play by Washington.
So 1-1 our score, 1 out of 2 by Kaiser and Teal. Now Augusta breaking pressure. A Euro step to the rim, no good by McDaniel. Rebound Kaiser, kicks out to Livingston. Tries the baseline, nothing there. Diagonal out to Heibarger. 3-pointer on the way, missing. Kaiser the rebound, middle of the lane. No look in the corner, and driving is McDaniel, flips it up, and good. McDaniel for 2.
And that's going to be the other key. You cannot give up 2 and 3 chances on an offensive set. The Vikings don't score at a quick enough clip to allow teams to have that many chances. They've got to be one and done and hit the glass. And sometimes playing that zone, it can be hard to rebound in.
3-1 in favor of Augusta. Franklin will hand it off to Yingling. Augusta really hedging up top when Winfield does that little handoff exchange. Washington over to Franklin, but the offense really starting well off the arc. Here's Teal. Top of the key, he'll back it up to the Oriole and give it off to Riley Yingling. 5:54 to go in the first quarter. Yingling off the screen, good pick up by Kaiser. Now Yingling and Kaiser got 2 hands on his hips, and that's an easy call for the official. Ryan Petty knew it too. So Kaiser picks up the foul. And it'll be Winfield basketball over on the far sideline. You're looking for that name, aren't you?
Trying to find his name. It's bothering me.
Yingling holds at center court. Looking for some movement. We'll give it off to McCauley, but he has to come way off the arc, down to Franklin. Franklin, a handoff to McCauley. And McCauley hung up out on the arc. We'll play it off. Well, he misread where his teammate was going to be at the turnover, and Heibarger takes it in, initiates the contact. 2 quick fouls on Julian Washington, and the junior, Caden Heibarger, will go to the line for 2.
And that's a frustrating one because Washington thought that he stepped away from it, but he still bodied him as he went up, and you just got to make a decision to try to rip the ball and know you're going to commit a foul. But if you're going to bump like that in transition and give away a cheapie like that, I think you have to call it, though.
Yeah, I do, too.
He didn't like it. He wanted, because he didn't put his hands up. But there was just too much body there to let it go. So
Even though the offensive player really threw his body into Julian, but
that's been one of the things that referees this year have committed to trying an offensive player.
This free throw on the second one by Heibarger, long outlet to Niall Franklin, and he had an open layup there, Matt, but the defender came flying by, and eventually Niall traveled.
Yeah, he got the jump stop in, and when the defender came by, he couldn't. His momentum took him forward into the travel, unfortunately.
Long pass again. Augusta breaking the press with the long pass. Livingston, right wing. Back over to Heibarger. Extra pass in the corner. McDaniel for three. Missed. Franklin the rebound for Winfield.
So here we are 3 minutes into the game, and one free throw. The Vikings have got to find a way to get the ball in the hole here.
Washington got it down low. Was in no position to shoot. Tried to kick it out, and he was fouled by Livingston.
It's really early in the game to say this is a key moment. But there's no spot in a game a coach wouldn't rather have than an under-the-basket inbounds play to try to get your first bucket. So let's see if the Vikings can draw up here and hopefully get a score.
Armand Acosta comes into the game for Julian Washington. Acosta and Tolles did not play in the game on Friday. McCauley to Yingling behind the free throw line. Puts up the shot. On line but short. Rebound to the Orioles. Josh Burke with it. Long pass ahead into the far corner. Livingston trying to turn the corner into the lane. Kick out pass and a foul on Winfield. Foul trouble was an issue in that first game against Arc City. Already 4 fouls on Winfield, 3.5 minutes in.
And right now the pressure has not been good to the Vikings, the full-court pressure. It's allowed Augusta to find some tempo offensively, and lucky for Winfield, they've struggled from the perimeter so far, but that's at least the third good open look from the three-point line they've had so far.
Kaiser back into the game, gets an inbounds, puts it up, no good. Rebound, loose, and Livingston's got it, and he'll pump up a three-pointer, miss. Rebound, McCauley. Pounded in a double team in the backcourt. He'll dribble it out of trouble. McCauley through the lane, gives it off to Yingling. Yingling falling down, traveled. So I love the good athletic move that time by McCauley. Got himself all the way down the floor. I'd have been just as happy to see him jump stop and shoot a jumper right there. That's the kind of, we've been hearing how good he is and the ability that he's got. I think he showed a little glimpse of it right there, attacking the basket like that in transition, but it's almost like Winfield's got to have one of those moments in one of these games where they have can score 12 points in a little 3-minute span, and they can let loose a little bit. It just keeps getting tighter and tighter. Augusta turning it over as they tried to feed it down inside. Kyan Tolles, Cameron Moore, Adam Woods, and Anthony Trumpower into the game for Winfield. So we see Ben Parks kind of implement the platoon basically here.
Yeah, and we all know what Tolles can do for this team. Moore can shoot it. So can Adam Woods. So he's looking for some rhythm for the lineup right now.
3-guard weave. Tolles drove it in. Acosta drove it in, missed the finger roll, and then the rebound came to Winfield and a travel called on Trumpower.
Yeah, and those are tough because as a player, you've got the right mindset. You're trying to go to the rim. Your feet just get ahead of the basketball and shuffle his feet before he got the ball on the ground.
Kate Kearney, who is a terrific soccer player for Augusta, into the game for the Orioles. Kaiser comes up. Boy, these guys really long passes, beating those passes, doing a good job.
Getting to the middle of the floor against the press.
Livingston working off a Kaiser moving screen, and boy, Ryan Petty didn't want that to happen. Gavin Kaiser with 2 fouls early.
Kurt, if I'm a broken record, tell me. But I feel like every game starts so Winfield got their chance, right? It's 4-1. 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, they've held Augusta to 4 points. They've got a chance to get a little something going here, but they can't get the ball in the hole. Defensively, they look great. And I feel like that happens a lot. There we go.
Adam Woods, the corner 3 for the Vikings.
He can shoot it. They've got to have that moment in a game where they can just turn the corner offensively a little bit. That's a great shot by Woods. hopefully that'll spark something.
Long pass ahead. Kearney's got it, left wing. We're tied at 4. Livingston inside the arc. Lowers the shoulder, tries to force one down to Kearney. Knocked away, but Caden comes up with it. He'll fire it out to Burton. Burton driving, and Adam Woods. Oh, he had a lot of ball there, but they're going to call the foul. Did they get Woods or Acosta?
They got Woods. And I think before the ball went on the deck, I think he did foul him. By the time he put the ball on the floor, Adam was able to get a hold of the basketball, but by then he'd already committed the foul.
How about the inbound corner 3 by Josh Burton? Give Augusta a 7-4 lead. 4, trouble near half court. Slings it to Trumpauer. Trumpauer. Big crossover here to the left side. Now plays it up top to Moore. And Kyan Tolles a touch outside the arc, right side. Tolles. Pounded. Trying to work his way into the lane. Nothing doing there. Nice find to Acosta. And Livingston blocked his shot, and they call it travel on Armand Acosta.
Actually, I think it was the right call because the defender let go of the basketball before Acosta got down to the floor. Everything went right there. If Acosta would have jump stopped and pump faked, the defender would have flown right over the top of him.
McDaniel ahead to Livingston. Livingston into the lane. Back to McDaniel. Open 3. Missing. Rebound. Trumpauer doubles. Able to give it off to Tolles. Tolles around the defender. 3-on-2. Tolles sidesteps the defender. Takes it to the rim and in.
I love his game. Fast. Kyan Tolles is fast, strong, athletic, and he brings energy every time he's on the floor.
Near steal by Winfield. And just as the Orioles looked like they were about to get a good look, Ryan Petty was granted a timeout here on the near side. 7-6. Augusta leads. 1:56 to go here in the first quarter.
Is it crazy to say in a game that 9 fouls have already been called in, that they're letting them play?
Yeah.
It really does feel like a physical game so far, which I love, but they've already called 9 fouls.
Which could mean a lot of free throws come second quarter.
So we talk a lot about, we did last year too, about Winfield could compete with somebody for 2 or 3 quarters and have that one, bad quarter. Well, this kind of feels like that same thing right now. They played great defense. They're competing right now. The shots are there. Tolles just with a great coast-to-coast finish. They really need that little boost of, if Winfield could just go on a little run and put a group of points together, interesting moment. Lost the shoe, and
I don't know what you're supposed to do as an official there.
Well, since they've got the ball and it's the home team, it's an Augusta player, I would think
Here's Burton driving into traffic, and he got fouled. Number 12, that's Kate McDaniel, got his shoe taken off. Just hard to believe with a high-top shoe how it could come off.
I'll tell you, though, if somebody steps around the back of your foot, it's happened.
Yeah.
I just don't know why, it wasn't in the middle of play. I don't know why you wouldn't just stop the game there and let him put a shoe on. It'd be different if Winfield was out in transition or something, but it happened in a moment where it was just some ball reversals at the top of the key. And anyway, I feel like you see that happen. It's like a helmet coming off in football. Like, it happens more and more for some reason. I don't know. Within our day, I don't remember people losing shoes all the time.
Pry a shoe off of me, I know. Burton missed the first free throw and misses the second free throw. Riley Yingling, who just came back in, rebounds the basketball. 7-6 Augusta. Here's Tolles. Stop, pop, just outside the elbow. That shot no good, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be Augusta basketball.
Keep shooting it. I love the confidence. Maybe a little quick in transition, but I'll take a 15-footer from him all night long. The last thing I want to tell Kyan Tolles is to slow down.
Keep playing your game. Highbarger in the backcourt, plays it ahead, and it's McDaniel all the way to the rim, and we're going to get a Viking foul at the rim. It was a bit of a late whistle, but the foul will go against Kyan Tolles.
I thought that was defended well, and that was a late call. That's one of those moments where I feel like the defender is entitled to that spot. He did a pretty good job of staying vertical.
Yeah. Well, Augusta, for the next 9 minutes and 19 seconds, will shoot free throws on every foul. The first free throw here by McDaniel is good.
I certainly remember McDaniel last year was very impressed. lanky kid that can shoot a little bit, probably stronger than he maybe looks.
Second free throw, no good, but a nice rebound by Easton Rouse, a 6'2 junior.
So you asked before the game started where that size matters, and right there, clearly the advantage of the Orioles by their size in the post.
Burton up top to McDaniel. Flashing down inside. Now a kick to Burton. Corner three. Good. Burton has hit 2 threes in the quarter and an 11-6 Oriole lead. Inside out.
Pivotal offense. Yeah, pivotal spot right here for the Vikings. Good basketball by Augusta that time.
Trump Power, left of the key, fires here to the near side of Costa, now down to Toll, spinning into traffic, muscles it up and in. What a play. Tyus Toll.
And I didn't think that was a travel. I know Augusta's coach wanted it there. Looks a little unorthodox, but I thought he did a good job of drop stepping and great play. Gosh, I just love watching Tyus Toll play.
And coming off the bench, he seems to play a little more of an edge, I feel like.
Yeah, he certainly is a quality starter talent for this team, but it does make you wonder if some players just get a feel for coming off the bench like that.
Highbarger gets it knocked away by Moore, recovers it, 4 seconds to go. McDaniel, a spin, up with the shot, good, at the buzzer. Not much going there for Augusta, but McDaniel made the shot.
That's a college-level move right there. Just a great job to cross over your defender, went left, one dribble pull-up, spun to the outside. That's a great move by McDaniel.
1 quarter in the books. Augusta 13, Winfield 8. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Viking Basketball on KSOK.
25,000 watts of entertainment, country, and the most complete news. 95.9 KSOK, Winfield, Arc City, Ponca City, and Wellington.
Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust, your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Your busy lifestyle requires banking options like mobile deposit and people-to-people pay. Let Community National Bank and Trust keep your finances safe and your spending smarter. Visit mybankcnb.com for a location near you. Community National Bank and Trust. Federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
And welcome back. Exciting, fast-paced first quarter. The Orioles leading Winfield 13-8. And it'll be Augusta basketball. That's one of the things where they hit the shot at the buzzer in the first quarter, then they start with the basketball here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's how you steal possession.
And the inbounds to Highbarger, and here we go with quarter number 2. Augusta in the home white, orange numerals, black trim. Winfield in the road blues with white numerals. Ralph to McDaniel, right side Highbarger, drives, got a step, tried to kick in the corner, and Trumpauer with a steal. Trumpauer racing it up floor, goes up with the layup, and good.
This group has brought some energy for the Vikings for sure.
First basket for Trumpauer, 13-10. Highbarger, and 10 seconds in the backcourt. So that pressure finally does force a turnover here on the Orioles.
Yeah, I just said a second ago, and Coach Ponce let them play a little bit. This group has got Yingling back in, but that's the only substitution. Yep. Otherwise, it's the same 4 that came off the bench. Acosta, Tolles, Moore, and see if they...
Trumpauer got a little too creative with the around-the-back dribble in a bad spot. Turned it over, and Augusta with it. Kearney, catch and shoot, right wing, no good. Rebound, Rouse, up, miss, got it again, and puts it in.
So now there's no excuse. Winfield's in a man-to-man, and they're getting beat on the boards like that. It's always more difficult in a zone, but you can't get beat one-on-one like that.
And now a travel on Trumpauer here on the left wing, 15-10 Augusta. McCauley and Franklin now return for the Vikings. Acosta out and Trumpauer out.
Yeah, and Trumpauer is trying to do too much right now.
Yeah. Back-to-back turnovers. Here's Burton. Plays it to McDaniel on the arc. Now Rout. Left side, it goes to Burton. Guard there by Yingling. They'll feed it down inside. And a shot up by McDaniel. Well defended there by McCauley and a miss.
Credit the Vikings. They're right in this basketball game because of their tough, gritty play.
Cameron Moore, open left wing 3, no good. Nice strong rebound by Livingston on the other side.
But you'll take that shot all night long from Cameron Moore. If you can get an open look, you'll take it.
And now Tyan Toles foul near half court here. Just trying to guard too tightly there, and he's still important, but that's going to be 2 fouls on Tyan.
That's the frustration foul. We talked about that in the girls' game a little bit. As a player, you've got to, if you make a mistake, you can't let it manifest itself into a foul.
Especially now because it's 1-and-1 free throw for Augusta.
And he is just too important to this team to give one away like that.
Livingston misses the free throw, and the rebound, well, that was a tough one. They call a foul on Winfield. Logan Pfeiffer got inside, I guess, there of Niall Franklin, then went into the air and got undercut, and the foul, the referee pointed Winfield's way, but called the foul on Franklin.
It was, unfortunately. Inside the paint, he spun on him and got inside position on Franklin, and when he went up, Franklin boxed him out underneath the basket and kind of undercut him. I know the fans don't like that very well, but I just don't know how you can't. I mean, I don't know how you could call that on Pfeiffer there, Logan Pfeiffer of the Orioles.
And his 1-and-1 free throw is no good. So 2 misses for the Orioles at the line. And Winfield with it down inside. Riley Yingling puts it in for 2.
It hasn't been a pretty game so far, but the Vikings are hanging in there because of their tough play on the defensive end.
Pfeiffer over to Kearney, 15-12 Orioles. Livingston off the screen, floats it up there with the right hand, good, and a foul.
And Winfield is switching defenses from man-to-man and zone, and it appears at times it's confusing the Vikings a little bit. I know Trump Howard a little bit ago thought the Vikings were in zone and we're in man-to-man. So
that's Cale Madrigal that just came in. He's wearing a different number tonight, 45. Livingston completes a 3-point play. 18-12 Augusta. Yingling into the front court. Working off a Madrigal screen. Dribbled it off his foot into the back court. Pfeiffer dives after it. Really didn't need to, but the effort is spectacular. And then he threw it out of bounds as he was sliding on the hardwood.
Yeah, and it's just one of those moments where Yingling's got to learn. If it's not there and you're being pressured, you've got a teammate flashing for the ball. Get rid of it and go make a cut. You can't.
Augusta's hedge has been excellent.
It has been. They've defended very well.
Pass out inside off of Madrigal's hands and a turnover. And it's McDaniel hesitating, floats it in the lane and good, and a timeout for the Vikings. And we've seen it, Matt, turnovers by the Vikings turning into easy offense for the Orioles, and just like that, they're up by 8.
Yeah, Cade McDaniel's a nice player. A couple of moves so far. He had the shot at the end of the first quarter. A nice shot there. Mid-range game is kind of a lost art in today's basketball.
It really is.
He seems to be pretty adept at that. He's got good size. What's he listed at? 6'4", 6'5". 6'5". Yeah, he's a nice player for sure. I definitely remember him last year. Eli Wilcox.
You got the name.
I had to drop the name. Finally, thank you, Trent Beckwith, for providing me with the name. We were talking about the kid during the JV basketball game, and I couldn't remember his name. He was is a heck of an athlete. This is another one of those moments. Yeah, by no means out of reach, 20-12, but we're 11 minutes in now, and the Vikings have 12 points. The shots have been there. They've turned it over a little bit against the pressure, and Coach Ponce has certainly stuck with Moore's gotten a nice stretch of minutes right here. He's fighting foul trouble a little bit, obviously. We're 8 minutes in with 10 team fouls, at least 10 team fouls. It stops.
Washington, there's a whip pass by Franklin. Boy, that had a lot of steam on it. Tough one from McCauley to catch, and another Viking turnover here. More of the unforced nature right there.
Yeah, that just was.
Livingston, a right wing 3, no good. Madrigal tips the rebound out of bounds.
So the Vikings had great position that time. They can't. they haven't had a lot of luck fall their way so far either. Was that Madrigal that had good position, and Franklin came in, and regardless, the ball was coming right to the Viking defender and just fighting for the basketball on a rebound. Sometimes that happens.
Burton open, great triangle passing by Augusta, and Burton gets a three-point shot from the wing. 23-12 Orioles.
Yeah, and a nice open look on that inbound play.
Cameron Moore, who got away with a little shove-off there. Catch and shoot, deep three. Good. Cameron Moore for three.
I was just about ready to say it's the moment in the game where the Vikings can't get ahead of themselves. There's no reason to panic right now. There's a lot of basketball left. Continue to play your game.
Here's steal by Moore in the backcourt. It's out of bounds off of Winfield.
He's brought some nice energy. He just knocked down a three a second ago there. Moore probably the best, I would say the best shooter the Vikings have on their team with the ability to shoot both off the dribble and set. Almost got a steal there in the full court press.
McDaniel ahead. It goes to Pfeiffer. And now a handoff to Heibarger. 23-15 Orioles. 3:55 to go in the second quarter. McDaniel left open. He'll shoot it from the free throw line. No good. Trey Teal the rebound for Winfield. Teal giggling. Now McCauley trying the baseline. Spinning back into play. Put it up. Good. And a foul. Ian McCauley. A chance for three as he spun right into the defender. Muscled it up and in.
He's had a couple of moments today that I'm not sure we've seen from him yet this year. Little flashes of what he has the ability to do. That's certainly something the Vikings, they don't have a lot of guys that can kind of slash and get to the paint. And McCauley can really bring that for this team. Nice little 4-0 run here with a chance to make it a 5-0 run. The couple was an 11-point lead, down to 6 right now.
Free throw by McCauley, no good. That was the second foul on Morgan Livingston, so he'll sit down. Cade Kearney with it in the backcourt. Now over to Heibarger. Everyone vacates him. He'll sling it ahead to Burton. Burton guarded tightly by Teal.
Love the way the Vikings have responded here, though.
23-17. Burton step back three, no good. Rebound, Franklin had it, lost it. Heibarger just wanted it a little bit more there. Just outfought him. Gives it off to McDaniel. Back to the hoop, top of the key. He'll play it off to Burton. 3:08 to go until halftime. Right side is Kearney with it. Kearney. Up top, McDaniel. Winfield, man-to-man defense. Now a handoff to Burton. Burton hesitates dribble. Now to the baseline. Under the cuff. Finds a man open in the corner for three. It's Pfeiffer, no good. Or Heibarger, that was, and the rebound to Winfield. Pass ahead, and a near steal by McDaniel. Armand Acosta will come back into the game for Cameron Moore. Easton Rouse back in for the Orioles.
And a nice stretch of minutes there for Moore. He really provided a spark. Hit that big three for the Vikings. Playing good defense. He earned his break. A nice job there by Cameron Moore for the Vikings. And a chance for Winfield to cut this to a two-possession game.
L.J. Riggs into the game.
A one-possession game, I guess, with a three.
McCauley. Franklin with it, right, just right to the key. Trey Teal, nice cut into the lane, takes it to the rim and missed.
Well, if you get that out of your offense, and that was clearly as part of the offense, and you're that wide open, you got to finish that. We talk angles all the time. He didn't quite get himself wide enough, but that's got to be finished. Those chances don't come often enough to miss on them.
McDaniel here to the near side, Riggs with it. A lot of down screening, then popping out. Here's Burton with it, turning the corner into the lane. Contact, ball loose, no call. Winfield's got it. Now a 2-on-2. Acosta on the attack to the rim. Up with it, good, and a foul. Riggs stepped in a little bit late there as Armand had already taken off, and it'll be a chance for three for Armand.
Loved every piece of that. Loved Franklin's position down there, but I also love the no call. I didn't think there was enough contact. The Vikings got out in transition, and Armand Acosta, when he gets ahead of steam going, he is quick, electric, got to the rim well finished, and the Vikings have made this a one-score game.
8-0 run by Winfield, 23-20. Burton in the backcourt plays it back to Riggs. Now back to Burton. They lob it towards half court, stolen by Franklin. Gives off to Acosta. Acosta in the lane, plays in the corner to McCauley. McCauley. Still with it. Over to Riley Yingling. 1:42 to go here in the second quarter. A run here by the Vikings. Trailed by 5 after 1. Got down by as many as 11 here Now Yingling, a tough fadeaway from the left elbow, no good. Niall Franklin, the rebound in the putback, and we have got a 1-point game on a 10-0 Viking run.
Energy. This Winfield team, we were talking about spurtability a little bit ago and how just a little run by the Vikings may totally flip the script. Well, we've got a 10-0 run. The Vikings are down 1 right now, and they've looked like a different basketball team the last 3 or 4 minutes. So the one piece right now that your Coach Fox, you could say that they need to continue improving on is hitting the defensive glass. They cannot continue to give Augusta second and third chances like that. And it felt like in the first quarter, a lot of it had to do with, it's a pretty common thing for players to dive underneath the basket when you're playing a zone and not position yourself well. Now the Vikings are in man-to-man, and that just kind of becomes it's just a dogfight for, who wants the basketball more. So continue to win the battle on the glass. Great run by the Vikings.
Basketball tonight brought to you by our friends at Pool's Body Shop at 1925 East 9th in Winfield. And it's Candy Pool, the owners. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And the number to call is 221-6616. Pool's Body Shop, 1925 East 9th in Winfield. Sticking with the full court pressure, doubling the first pass. Heibarger now with it. Heibarger back over to Burton. Burton will fire it down court here to Kearney. And he'll slow it up, a handoff to Heibarger. 1:15 to go. Second quarter. Kearney feeds it down low to Rouse. Nice kick out. McDaniel wide open for 3. Andy missed everything. And it'll be Viking basketball.
I don't see that very often. It's not the air ball so much, but the key is about most people's favorite place to shoot from. And he didn't have a defender within 10 feet of him.
Had a good look.
A really good look.
McCauley with it left of the key. A handoff to Trey Teal. Teal pound it. Ball knocked away by Kearney. Ball loose. McCauley runs it down for the Vikings. Over to Acosta. 45 seconds to go here in the second. Armand Acosta. A handoff to McCauley. A guarded 3 on the way. Missing. Rebound Burton. Picked up immediately by Yingling in the backcourt. Be careful back there. 30 seconds to go. Ryan Petty shouts out a play for his team. Burton gives off to Kearney. Kearney gets it knocked away. He's hounded by McCauley. Augusta trying to bolt for the final shot here. Heibarger. Looking left. Niall Franklin knocks it away. A near steal, but run down by the Orioles. 7 seconds to go. Heibarger. Right side McDaniel. Right wing 3. Miss. Rebound Kearney. Puts it up and in at the buzzer. That thing circled around the iron 2 or 3 times, Matt. And, again, not a thing of beauty by the Orioles at the end of the quarter, but that's twice they have converted to end the first and now the second quarter.
And it was an offensive rebound. Weak side, missed the blockout assignment. The Orioles get an offensive rebound, put back at the buzzer, and that's really, to me, at this point, that's, of all the things that have happened, rebounding has been the difference in the basketball game. The Orioles have been able to hit the offensive glass and had second and third chances, and the Vikings, when they haven't made one, they're usually one and done.
25.
Still a fantastic effort by the Vikings. Yeah, especially there the last 4 minutes or so of that quarter.
Well, it certainly got into a danger area down 11, but here they are down 3 at halftime. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back and hopefully visit with Jason Benjamin. Lady Vikings winning by 14 tonight. 25-22 at halftime on KSOK.
Call United right away.
When it comes to looking for a new home for your family, it can be a trying but rewarding adventure. Right now, it's a buyer's and seller's market. We would love to be your choice when it comes to real estate. Our local agents, Brooke Paget, Carol Dalton, and Candace Hendricks, are all knowledgeable and make the process easy for you. Give one of them a call today at 442-0400 or see us at 726 North Summit in Arch City across from Wilson Park. United Agency has served the needs of the community since 1888.
Call United right away.
Hail season is here, and if you become the unfortunate victim of a dinged and dented vehicle, better call Collision to Custom in Arc City. They have 30 years of experience repairing all types of damage, and they work directly with your insurance company, making the process easy for you. Stop in at Collision to Custom now and say hi to Steve Tackett. Brothers Chris and Steve working side by side at Collision to Custom, 1207 South Summit in Arc City.
And welcome back. Halftime of the boys game. Augusta 25, Winfield 22. Let's talk some girls basketball. The Lady Vikings improving to 2-1 on the season with a 48-34 win. And Jason Benjon joins us now to talk about it. Coach, congrats on the win. What a dominating first half by your team, offensively and defensively. You're up 28-6 at halftime. The Orioles certainly came off the mat in the second half, but your team built up a nice lead and were able to really hold them off.
Yeah, really happy about the way we played in the first half. Executed the game plan really, really well. Can't be happier with the girls on that. The toughest thing, and we even talked about this at halftime in the second half, we got so many steals and deflections. With our zone, we got to stay in just steals to the three-point line. We extended the bar too far a couple times, and you're able to get that short corner shot or a skip pass three, and they hit a couple. Augusta's got a couple good shooters, and we were able to derail them in the first half, but they got a couple good looks, a couple bangs, and a couple few things, but very happy getting a win here. Very tough place to play.
Aaliyah Morey, I thought, in that third quarter when Augusta started making a little push at you, boy, she came up, she had a 9-point third quarter for you. She finished tonight with 15.
Yeah, finally getting going. She's been battling sickness and had a little tough time with some things, so she's been really good on the bounce back on it. So, been really good. Sorry, as a Diet Dr. Pepper, I spilled everywhere on the floor. Trying to make sure it's not getting you, but yeah, she had a huge game. Very nice for her to get herself back going. She's getting healthier day by day. She's a big force tonight, and those were basically game-stealing buckets there, really, to kind of stop their run there.
Well, it's so demoralizing for Augusta. I mean, they're really making a nice comeback at you, and then there's Aaliyah in there making some tough shots. They weren't like gimme layups.
Oh no, not gimme layups with two hands in the middle of your back, telling you those very tough shots.
I feel like I could read into that, but I'm going to. In the first half, Jason Boy Crosby Curtis, 14 points in the first half. She had a couple of Smee three-pointers, some really nice inside-out play with Aaliyah finding her on the wing for 1-3.
Yeah, very big. That inside-out pass is something we've been working on. I've been trying to tell our shooters, your shooting percentage goes way up when you go from an inside-out pass. Continue to work on that, do big things, and then talk about me. When have I ever ran out of timeouts in the third quarter?
How about that?
What was I thinking? And that cost us. I put that on me. About 6 points on me. Not a couple plays not letting me go in the first half when I'm up 20 doing that odd bonehead.
There was a stretch here where you called 3 and Augusta called 1 in the third quarter. There, just a goofy stretch.
Yeah, it's a real goofy stretch, and a couple of those I gotta recognize on that, and then just not noticing that I was out. When they told me, I still thought I had one, and then. Like, nope, you're out. I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be great. Here comes the full-court pressure.
First half, I thought a key for your team also, 10 of 16 at the free throw line. You happy with that number?
Yes, very happy. We've been working a lot on free throws on there. Get there. Would have liked to get to the line a little bit more because the goal is always to make as many free throws as your opponent shoots. I don't know. We may have actually done that, though, tonight. We didn't foul a ton, so that was very nice, except for our post players 92 feet from the basket, which will be something we address tomorrow in practice. But continue to work on those little things, and we'll get there.
What is it in the high school game? Matt and I were talking in the girls' game and in the boys' game. When you see, especially a big, maybe have not to say a mess up, but maybe a missed shot or something. Maybe they thought they got fouled. They come back and they just get uber aggressive in a spot where they don't need to. We see it the boys and the girls' side.
And the worst part, as a post player myself, this is the same thing my dad and my high school coaches yelled at me all the time when I did that as well, too, because I don't know the frustration, but just the realization of getting back. Because I try to stress that Mel, Aaliyah, and Nevaeh, you're going to get a bunch of them. But if it's one you can't get on back. Standing there is going to get some just to fall in your hand.
Almost exactly.
You don't have to reach. Yeah. You don't have to reach because that's going to come. They're going to get enough coming to you, but you have to realize you're a dead sprint, especially in our zone. That one time that we had the turnover, Leah got mad that she didn't get the pass to Mel that she needed. Mel and Aaliyah both went for the steal, and they got a layup down here because our guards picked up and no one was back.
Yeah, guards do it too.
Yeah.
But bigs, you said it. We were talking about that, about how, bigs fouls are a premium anyway because they're going to get a couple of chippies. It just happens when you're a big.
Yeah.
So that frustration foul after you turned it over or missed a shot or you didn't get a call, yeah, it's kind of funny how, and it's I hate to say that it's a thing, but it is kind of a thing, and getting, that maturation process where they realize, like, all right, I've got to be able to turn the page, because it feels like it happens probably once a game where they get a cheapie like that instead of just getting back. So anyway, yeah.
It's the guard disease of when they give up a bucket, they got to shoot it off of one pass.
That's actually a good connection.
Tell me, Jason, talk about Soraya Driver, because I think in the Arc City game she got to the line 13 times. It was 8 or 9 times on Friday night, and then looks like 9 more times to the line tonight. This girl really gets to the stripe for you.
If she takes her if she settles, takes her first dribble in that jump stop, she is about darn near unguardable on that. And to stop her from getting to the layup, you got to put 2 hands on her. And I think she could have went to the line about 6 more times tonight just on some of her drives. The sky's the limit for that kid. She's really taken some big steps. It's actually on me a little bit in the fourth quarter. It's one of those things that's a blessing and a curse. We have a very deep bench. I tried to do a couple things, and I realized I didn't play her the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, and that's a little bit on me on that because she's a kid that needs to be on the floor for us.
Jason Venjon joining us at halftime of the boys game. Lady Vikings winning 48-34 here tonight, and getting to 2-1. And I know you didn't use it as any. You didn't even mention it Friday, but boy, your team was really under the weather collectively tonight. You said before the game, healthier, not healthy, but healthier. They looked a little stronger to me.
Yes, we did. We're slowly getting there. You should probably buy some stock in NyQuil and some of the other things. Still knocking on wood. We've stayed away from the major stuff, but every sinus infection and cold and little bugs you could get, we've had right now. We've been lucky on the other stuff, continuing to tell the girls to drink a ton of water, get sleep. It's finals week. And we have to, happy to get a huge conference win on the road.
Friday night, you guys have 2 more games before you get to go to break, and the El Dorado Wildcats come in Friday night. What do we know about El Dorado, and what kind of challenge do they pose?
Young, scrappy group. Don't shoot it quite as well as Augusta, but we need to get ready. I need to dive into film. I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to it. That's going to be my midnight tonight and tomorrow to dive into them a little bit more and find out what they're doing. I'm assuming they'll try to zone us, but they are a little smaller like Augusta is. And Augusta found out if you zone us, it gives us a little bit easier way to go inside. So it'll be interesting. She'll throw some different things at us. We'll be ready for them.
Should be fun. We'll have it here Friday night. Coach, appreciate the time. And great to see you here on a beautiful Tuesday night in South Central Kansas.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't know if my wife and kids are still listening. If I did tell them, I'd give them a shout-out. Love you, Sarah. Hi, kids. Ashlyn, Bryce, Kaylee, if you're still awake. I know you guys couldn't come up tonight, but we'll see you for Friday's game, and I'll see you when I get home.
Always fun visiting with you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's take a 1-minute timeout.
Coach.
We will have the Vikings girls on Friday night at home against El Dorado. 1-minute timeout, boys fans, coming up next. 25-22, we're at halftime. The Vikings trail on KSOK.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap. Drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Open your Casasa account online today at myunionstate.bank. Union State Bank, built for better banking. Member FDIC.
Need cash? Winfield Iron and Metal buys scrap iron, copper, brass, aluminum, and more scrap. Winfield Iron and Metal now offers a full line of welding supplies, compressed gases, and new steel. Proudly serving South Central Kansas for over 50 years, Winfield Iron and Metal offers safety supplies like glasses, hearing protection, and respirators, as well as a vast selection of over 200 shapes and sizes of structural steel and scrap plate. For help with your next steel project or to get rid of your old scrap, get in touch with Winfield Iron and Metal today at 405 Manning in Winfield or visit online at winfieldiron.com.
Perfectly done. Right back here at Augusta's Gymnasium. Jason can eat his dinner now. I think I'll have some of...
Oh, no, there's no Chipotle for me.
I'm sorry. I did not realize you were such a fan.
Man. You're going to be hearing about this in February.
Yeah, like,
I'll still bring up the Chipotle snub.
I mean, there is consideration that I just got off the plane, dropped off part of the family in Derby to drive home with mom-in-law.
You're lucky I love you. No, I do love Chipotle, though.
Oh, man. Hey, real quick, Matt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Vikings scored.
That's a thing of beauty.
22 points, and Kyan Tolles has 4 to lead the way. Josh Burton has 9. Caden McDaniel 7 to lead Augusta. We start the third quarter. McCauley backing in. Shot no good. Franklin battling. They had his hands on the rebound, but Augusta comes up with it.
I like the look. I like the start. It was there. Just didn't fall.
Get a little higher up the window.
Yeah, good opening set, though, by the Vikings there.
A lob down to Kaiser, who mistimed his jump. It was there for the Orioles, but a turnover on Augusta. Here's McCauley up the floor. Trying to get down on the left side of the lane. Spins back, middle of the lane. Up with the shot, no, but a travel called on McCauley.
Talk to me, Coach.
What do you think?
I thought that was a nice move.
Nice little spin back.
Covered a lot of space.
And he is 6'5".
I just don't. Thought that was a good move. I'll leave it at that.
Doesn't go Winfield's way. Augusta with the basketball early third quarter, leading by 3. Burton over to Livingston. And a pass trying to get it to Kaiser. Tipped. Somehow it got to McDaniel inside. That is a really good break for Augusta, and they get an easy 2. 27-22. Rifle pass at the free throw line off the hands and ricocheted right to McDaniel. Julian Washington. 2 early fouls in the first quarter. He was on the bench a lot, but a nice drive to the window there for 2. And now a near steal.
He has been a difference maker this year. Last year, he didn't play with a lot of confidence. The athleticism and ability's been there. He just needed that confidence. Boy, to start off his senior year so far in the first 3 games, he really has been a good player for this Vikings team.
I agree.
And a bright spot that I'm not sure coming into the season was somebody, you're going to get some minutes out of him, but he's really made a difference.
Well, here's another missed pass by Augusta, but it lands in the hands of an Oriole along the sideline. So Augusta's been pretty fortunate twice. Burt plays to Highbarger. Now to McDaniel in the corner. Back to Burt. They'll swing it up top. Winfield in a 2-3 zone. A lob to McDaniel for an easy 2.
That's the exact same play they were looking for the last time down the floor. And the lob was thrown too high. So when they went back high post, the entire coaching staff knew that was coming.
You get that screen on that low guy, man. I mean, you see it happen all the time against the zone.
Yeah, and usually it's because you can get, when you go weak side, you can usually sneak in a backside guy behind the zone, and if you just screen the middle man, then you're wide open.
Washington finds Teal here on the right side. High arcing 3, good for Trey Teal, and it's a 2-point game.
Visions of Scotty Thurman in the 1994 National Championship game.
Teal had a read of the pass on the sideline, but he contacted Livingston. It'll be a foul on Trey, his second.
Yeah, that's a good hustle foul. You're all right with that. Continue to apply pressure in that full court.
Gavin Kaiser, whip pass into the lane. McDaniel threw some arms. No good on the shot. Rebound McCauley. And here come the Vikings.
That time McDaniel should have kicked. Tried to go up in pressure, and the Vikings got the one and done.
29-27 Augusta. 5:20 to go in the third. Yingling over to Teal. He had a look. Passed it up. Teal with it in the right hand. Dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds.
Yeah, really, after hitting that last 3, I'd just like to see him go up with that again. Take it with confidence, absolutely. He had more space there than he probably did on the one he made.
So the Orioles with it. Long pass by Burton. Gets to McDaniel. Over to Highbarger. Highbarger into the lane. Up with the shot. No good. Rebound. Winfield. And Yingling pushing it up floor. 2-on-2. Yingling into the lane. Up with the shot. Good.
That's good upper body strength right there. For a minute, it didn't look like Yingling was going to have anything, but he just held strong, finished strong, and just like that, it's a tie game.
Down 11 at one point. We're tied at 29. Burton into the front court for the Orioles. Hounded here by Washington. Plays up top to Highbarger. Now right side Livingston. They go short corner McDaniel. He kicks it up to Highbarger. Extra pass Burton for three. In and out, no good. Rebound Niall Franklin.
So we'll see how long the Vikings stay in this. Right now they're choosing to try to track the wing. Quick ball movement, that's going to leave a wide open weak side wing. So far,
Riley Yingling, boy, just careless at half court, man. He was in the front court, and then he took a deep drop step and went over and back.
That's a tough one because it's just an awareness of where you're at on the court. And he came across and was trying to call an offensive set. And, yeah, what do you do? I mean, that's just one of those that no one's probably more disappointed than Riley Yingling.
So it'll be Augusta basketball as the Vikings do a line change here. Trump Power, Woods, Moore, Tolles, and Acosta into the game. Burton hounded by Woods up the floor. He'll go right side to Kearney. Hayden Kearney over to Kaiser. Wants to hand it off and does. Kearney into the lane. Up with the right hand. Tolles blocked the shot. Ball loose. Still loose. McDaniel comes up with it. Nice find to Kaiser for two.
I still love the pressure. Kyan Tolles right in the basketball game. Gets a nice block shot. Doesn't end up in the right hands, but still good play by the Vikings.
Tolles muscling it up. No good. We'll get an Augusta foul. Tell you what, the Orioles have scored 6 points in this quarter. 4 of them have been very fortunate with bounces going their way, those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, and Kyan Tolles has now been in for 30 seconds and made a nice block shot on one end. Comes right down, and he's just tough on the block. He's not, he's not overly tall, but he is, again, probably stronger than he looks.
Yeah.
He is so quick with that first step. If you get him deep on the block like that, he's at least going to get a good shot off more often than not, and many times, especially if he gets that steal, he's just really turned into to be honest with you, from a coaching standpoint, he's a coach's dream. Like, he's just a ball of energy all the time.
1 out of 2 at the line. Now Kearney gets past Woods. Kearney takes it to the rim, misses the layup. Strong rebound by Acosta. Gives it off to Tolles. Tolles into the lane, lost it. And a foul called on Augusta. Kyan just initiates contact, and he's not afraid to.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him kick the Moore there. He had his head down coming up in transition, and he had a wide open Cameron Moore in the corner. But nonetheless, just the attacking mentality.
Yeah.
And Winfield doesn't probably have enough of that. So his minutes are so precious.
Inbound to Tolles, gives it off to Trump Power. Tough step back three, no good. And the rebound to Augusta.
That's a tough shot in that situation, coming off the dribble. When it wasn't there on the catch, probably just get a good ball reversal. But it's a shot off is always better than a turnover.
Pass down inside Pfeiffer with it. Got Trumpauer in the air. Puts it up. Almost made it. Foul will be on Trumpauer. And 2 free throws coming up for Logan Pfeiffer. No points for Pfeiffer. 0 for 1 at the line tonight.
Yeah, just a good steal that time in the paint. The Orioles got a good ball reversal, and then on the diagonal, Pfeiffer sealed Trumpauer in the block, and that's good basketball.
First free throw missing. 31-30 Augusta. 3:04 to go here in the third quarter. Trumpauer is going to come out for Julian Washington. One more free throw for Logan Pfeiffer, 6-foot sophomore. And that one's good. 32-30. Cameron Moore races up floor, gives off to Woods. Woods, a little bit of a bobble, able to give it off to Acosta. Top of the key, Harmon with the right hand, elevates with the right elbow, shot no good. Washington, the rebound, kicks out to Moore. Now Woods for three in the lead. Got it.
Boy, what a spark he's in this year, too. Between Washington and Woods, probably two kids who didn't come into the season thinking they're going to give you what they have, and Woods has been a really nice addition to this roster.
Plays with a calm about him out there. I love.
Certainly does.
33-32. Boy, Armand Acosta, a lob down to Kaiser. Kind of came over the top. He's got such great hops on that, but his momentum took him right through Kaiser.
Yeah, I'd love to see that one in slow motion. Ooh, he was a good 2 or 3 feet off the floor there. I think the foul was the right call.
Yeah, I think you're right.
With the tomahawk chop. But negated it where it would have been an easy bucket.
A lob into Kaiser. His shot no good. Rebound Winfield. Kaiser got away with a push of Tolles, and then Kaiser took a little bump on his shot. Referees let him go a little bit here in this third quarter, and then a foul called on Pfeiffer finally, and it'll be Winfield basketball.
It's been a physical basketball game, but I'll tell you, it's been impressive to watch Winfield match it. There has been no fear from the Vikings standpoint in terms of bringing the physicality right back to the Orioles on the road here.
Tolles driving in, kick to Woods, right wing three on the iron, no good. Acosta kept the rebound alive. Moore puts it up, no good. And there was a push by Kyan Tolles, and that will be his third. He has that bewildered look, but that was the right call.
So I actually didn't see that one. I thought it looked like the kid tripped. Now, I thought he got away with the foul about 4 seconds earlier.
So there was some foul.
There was, and he's in the middle of it all the time in a good way. I mean, there's just, when he's in a game, stuff happens.
Burton hounded by Moore. Burton trying to draw the contact. Nice feed to Kaiser, but finally a foul called on Cameron Moore. It's always tough, Matt, as a defender when you get beat as a guard and then you're trailing the offensive guy when they just kind of hit the brakes on you.
And Burton did a good job of it. A lot of the really good guards can keep that defender there and almost toy with them on some level.
Turnover on the inbound by Augusta. Winfield with Acosta to Cameron Moore, driving, kick to Woods, right wing three, missed. Got his own rebound, gives it off to Acosta. Now Moore, nice shot fake, drives in, finds Woods again. This is a long two, no good. Rebound. Boy, Winfield really battling, but Augusta gets the rebound. An outlet pass knocked away. Heibarger's got it, gives off to Kaiser, and a timeout from the Orioles. As, boy, I thought they had a run out there, Matt. I think Ryan Petty might be guilty maybe. Well, I mean, he's trying to save the possession. So they will do that.
Yeah, it was in an odd spot, though. I mean, but certainly it was a little hectic there, and I'm sure he probably was, I didn't see, but he was probably trying to call a timeout, and then when he actually got it, it was at the wrong moment.
Yes. More high school basketball for you on Friday night. El Dorado at Winfield. 6 o'clock for the girls, 7:45 for the boys. This will be the last home game of 2021.
Oh, my goodness. And what a year it's been.
Crazy, isn't it? Fun to have fans, though, again.
It is definitely fun to have fans again. I'll be glad I never hear the word COVID again.
Inbound comes down to Kaiser. He's in the lane a long time, but then he throws it out to the top of the key, and he goes into the... I mean, he tried to get to the top of the key, went over the head into the backcourt and over and back against Augusta.
This pressure has been... It's been a difference maker for the Vikings here in the second half. They've really turned it up a notch, and it's on both sides of the floor. It's helped them.
Acosta. But you feel like there's a belief here tonight like we haven't seen the first two nights.
And it started with that little 10-0 run they had in the second quarter. They were finally kind of able to crack the seal, and they've played with a confidence since that we really haven't seen yet this year.
Washington over to Tolles, left to the key, and then traveling on Kyan, trying to do too much there. Ball fake right, juke left, travel.
I thought it was the right idea, though. They were clearly looking to give him some space on the wing. They got a good ball reversal. He just didn't get the ball down in time. But the spot was good. The play was good. Just got to execute.
Burton brings it up against Cameron Moore into the front court. Winfield leading by 1, under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Kaiser above the elbow, plays up top to McDaniels, been quiet here in the third. Burton to Heibarger. He'll give it off to Pfeiffer. No shot there. Back up top, McDaniels. Good defense here from Winfield and a near steal. Burton's got it. Over to Kaiser. Whips over to McDaniel. Got a traveling start there. Flips it up in the lane and good. Well, he certainly shuffled the feet on that start.
And another thing that I think has been big is the Vikings have gotten themselves.
Cameron Moore throws it ahead to Adam Woods, but Woods was not looking, and it hits off his back. And Ben Potts saying, don't throw that ball. Cameron Moore thought he saw something there, and a little differing opinion.
I think in transition, Adams had a spot he was supposed to get to. Moore got too far out in front of it and tried to make a pass that the offense wasn't ready for yet, if that makes sense.
34-33 Augusta. They'll try to hold. They've been good at the end of quarters. They've got it with 14 seconds. Burt to Livingston. Now McDaniel. Guarded by Acosta. Pop to Kaiser. 7 seconds to go. Livingston to Burton. Whips it down inside. Kaiser up and good. And again, 3 times in a row, Augusta at the end of the quarters has converted. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Augusta 36. Winfield 33. We're back in 1 minute on KSOK.
Hello, Cali County. Summit Realty here with important news. The market is hot right now with low interest rates available. Summit Realty has qualified buyers just waiting for your property, and they want your listings. Get off the fence and call Summit Realty today. Whether you're interested in buying or selling, they're interested in you. Call Summit Realty now and speak to one of their local agents. Here's that number, 620-307-6605, and find them at 225 North Summit.
Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust, your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Your busy lifestyle requires banking options like mobile deposit and people-to-people pay. Let Community National Bank and Trust keep your finances safe and your spending smarter. Visit mybankcnb.com for a location near you. Community National Bank and Trust. Federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
And welcome back here to Augusta. An 11-11 third quarter, which saw the Vikings take the lead, but the Orioles with a little mini 4-0 run, man. They lead it by 3, and here are the Orioles. They score at the end of the third quarter. They start with the basketball in the fourth.
I hope that doesn't bleed over. Did you see the Vikings look a little deflated walking off there after playing such a great third quarter? You just don't want to see that bleed over into the fourth quarter. They've had the energy. Switching to this man-to-man defense has been a difference maker. It's made Winfield play with more intensity. They've rebounded better. I have no problem with zone in the right situations, but at times they definitely don't rebound as well in it, and at times they play a little softer because of it.
McDaniel off the block, plays to Burton, a catch and shoot for 3, no good. Julian Washington the rebound. Pushing it ahead, and that pass stolen by Burton, and unfortunately for him, his momentum took him to the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Winfield did everything right there, just tried to get it. Really, Burton baited Washington into that in transition.
It's a heavy play by Burton. Here's McCauley with it right side. 3-point lead for Augusta. Franklin looking for Teal on the cut. Teal's got it, goes up, right hand, and good. Very under control there by Trey Teal.
That same cut through the paint that he missed the layup on, wide open earlier, that time was contested, and Teal with a nice finish. You said earlier that he didn't use the glass enough. That was high up off the glass with some great touch. Loved it.
36-35. They haven't added it on the scoreboard yet. Here is Kaiser spinning with the right hand and good. Gavin Kaiser with a nice move. 38-35.
Yeah, that's a great back of the basket crashing move.
And now Teal dropped his shoulder and sent Kaiser to the deck. It'll be an offensive foul against Trey Teal.
We were talking with Coach Vinjout about frustration fouls after a rebound. That was a frustration foul after a good basket. And Teal just got ahead of himself there. Should have slowed it down, pulled it out. It wasn't there. And he's got, that's 4 on 3.
Left side, Livingston. Washington Gamble didn't get the steal. Livingston takes it in. And a foul on Niall Franklin, who thought he had the position for the charge. And his teammates trying to make sure you don't want to say anything here, man. There's such a tightly contested game right now. You don't want one of those crazy technicals called against you for just mouthing to an official.
I always wonder about this because he had great position there, but if that's the NBA or the college game, he was definitely underneath the hoop too far. And I think even though there really isn't the circle in the high school game, it still is kind of routinely called that if you're that far underneath the basket, you're just going to be a block every time. And
do you like that?
Personally, I do. I really think they ought to put the same half semicircle in that they do in the college and NBA game. I know, and Franklin did have position there, but he was too far underneath the hoop, and you can't plant yourself there and expect to get a whole lot from a defensive standpoint.
39-35. Livingston hit 1 out of 2. Franklin, a handoff to McCauley. Augusta's been switching everything out on the perimeter and hedging hard. Yingling with the right hand through the legs, got around Livingston, takes it to the rim with the left hand, and good.
That was a gorgeous move. To get in there, he's just so strong in his upper body.
Burton all the way to the rim, no good, but he was fouled. And the Vikings a little lackadaisical defensively there. The foul will go to Niall Franklin.
Yeah, back to Yingling's move offensively. To see him go left like that and finish smoothly with his left hand with that upper body strength, I mean, that's a play he makes last year and probably doesn't finish it. And that's a play this year he's finished pretty consistently. That was really nice. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that move any better, but it was a beautiful move just to get his defender going one way, and he's gotten so strong in the upper body that he can control himself in the air like that and keep the defender off.
Burton made the first free throw and the second free throw. Augusta 3 for 4 at the line here in the fourth quarter. 8 Viking fouls, so every foul will send the Orioles to the free throw line. 41-37. Boy, a lot of hand checking out on the front. Ben Punt shot. I always say when a coach has to yell that, and then the call comes, it was the right call, foul on Highbarger.
That's one of the few calls that you can get as a coach, though.
Yeah.
Because it's instinctive almost as a referee. You turn and see it, and you're like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, there is a lot of hands there.
Fourth team foul on the Orioles. Tyan Tolles off of Franklin Street. And lost the dribble, but it rolls here to Cameron Moore. Now off the screen. And again, Augusta just switching so well up top. Moore up top to Tolles. Tolles driving, cut off, finds Moore, left wing, didn't pull it. Cameron, and a bad pass, knocked away, and a steal. Re-stolen, Tyan Tolles for a layup.
Boy, I'm okay being a broken record about him. I mean, he almost turns it over, gets a nice kick out, a mistake is made by his teammate, he goes and picks up a pass and makes a bucket. Tyan Tolles is just everywhere. He's so fun to watch.
41-39, Augusta. McDaniel beating the Kaiser middleweight. Nice transfer. Burton in the corner for 3. Good.
That's good basketball.
And a timeout for the Orioles. And again, Matt, we talked about it seemingly all night. You go inside, Kaiser gets the defender to suck in on him. Well, then he just kicked out to Burton, and shooters love that corner 3, and Burton knocked down another one.
And when you attract the kind of attention, he's got a couple of really nice moves on the block in the second half here, Kaiser. So when you attract that kind of attention, and you can get a defense to collapse, you've got a kid like Burton that can shoot it, it's just good basketball. It's good basketball.
Burton made 4 threes tonight en route to his, 14 points. Timeout from the Orioles here, 44-39. 4:53 to go now in this fourth quarter, Matt. And possession, again, here we see the Vikings scoring 39 points. They've equaled their high mark of the season, where their possessions there in the last 4:53 are going to be critical.
Yeah, I was stopping short of saying when it was, what was it, 40, when it was a 4-point game. Yeah, 37-41. I didn't want to say this is a pivotal spot because with 5 minutes to go, 5.5, and a 4-point game, there's still a lot of basketball to be played, but it just feels like the margin of error is so razor thin right now for the Vikings. They've got to maintain contact with Augusta in terms of striking distance, and you just don't want to see this game get much more than a couple of possessions away.
So it'll be Winfield basketball. McCauley, Yingling, Franklin, Moore, and Tolles on the floor for Ben Ponce's team. Cameron Moore takes it down to the baseline, finds McCauley, corner 3, good. That was really well done.
Turnabout is fair play. That time the Vikings were the ones that set up the transition, got a nice drive into the bucket by Moore, and a kick for an open 3. Get that defense to collapse.
McDaniel bringing it up for the Orioles, now plays it off. A 44-42 Augusta lead. Livingston up top to Kaiser. We'll play it off Highbarger, the sophomore, over to McDaniel. And Augusta, a bunch of possessions for them. It's not like they're an offensive juggernaut either.
Really, high school basketball as a whole kind of plays itself without the shot clock like we've talked about.
Livingston drives in, kicks over to the corner. Highbarger for three. A lot of contact when Livingston kicked it off, but I thought the right no call.
Yep, and good basketball, a drive and kick. I'll be okay. There's so much theatrics that come along with basketball these days and hitting shots. I would love to see somebody hit a three-point shot in a big spot and just run down and play defense. Everyone's got to throw up the three sign and make sure you bump your head. I know it. I'm a little bit of a basketball snob. I just want the Barry Sanders, score a touchdown and run back, get back on defense. You don't got to do that every single time. I love the emotion.
Here's Yingling into the lane. Right hand, no good this time. Rebound to Augusta after that three-pointer. The Orioles lead by 5 here with 3:32 to go.
Yeah, and this is a big set right now for the Vikings. Don't want to see this turn into a three-possession game the way this has been so tightly contested.
Burton into the lane. Out to Pfeiffer for three. That was on line but long, and the rebound to McCauley. Gives it off to Yingling. 3-on-1 over to Franklin on the run. Settled for the reverse layup. No good. Tolls the rebound up. Miss. Rebound Augusta.
And I thought a really good decision by Yingling in transition. It looked like he had Franklin, Tolls, but he went to Franklin. Just couldn't finish.
So it's the Orioles with the basketball. Up top, McDaniel. 47-42 Augusta. Some timely threes by the Orioles here in this fourth quarter. Highbarger. Nice find to Kaiser down inside for two.
Ball and man. I mean, it's as simple as that right there. If you get pissed off, but you're playing fundamental basketball and you know where your ball and your man is, and that time Franklin got screened off and lost track, and was it lack of communication between McCauley and Franklin, and they lost their man.
7-point Augusta lead, a monumental possession here for Winfield. Yingling with it. 2:16 to go. Yingling here to Franklin right of the tee. Augusta really sitting inside the arc for the most part. Now Yingling back to Franklin. A lot of holding here. And now McCauley in traffic, able to wrestle it away. Got his man in the air, goes up with a shot. It's on the iron and good. McCauley on a possession that really wasn't developing that, but boy, that's a big shot by Ian. 49-44 Augusta, and a Winfield timeout here with 1:58 to go.
And it kind of felt like even the emotion from the crowd right there, everyone was starting to get a little frantic, like, we've got to do something right here. There's still 2 minutes left in this basketball game. While that was an important possession, and it turned out to be a pretty good shot, it almost felt a little bit like the Vikings could feel the emotion of the moment in the crowd, and I'm glad that turned out well. I'm not sure that was the shot against the double team you'd be looking for, but at the same time, McCauley's the one kid that kind of has that size and length and ability to rise up like that and hit a fadeaway jumper. Nonetheless, the Vikings did. It's a two-possession basketball game, and how long do you let this go before you play the foul game? You're obviously going to defend for a little bit here with 2 minutes to go, but you've got to start getting into the mindset at some point where you're going to look at your assistant coaches are telling you who it is you want to foul. Again, there's 2 minutes to go here, and the way the Vikings have played pressure defense in the second half, you're not going to commit a foul quickly, but you also don't want to burn 45 seconds.
Augusta, Matt, tonight, 8 of 17 to my numbers at the free throw line.
So, if your coach tossed maybe a foul early, the right person isn't a terrible thing.
Burton's not the guy you want to foul, I don't think, although he's 2 for 4 tonight. He's been their best outside shooter for sure. Burton breaks the pressure. He's got it in the front court, guarded by Cameron Moore. Burton makes a move, drives into the lane, through the lane, keeps the basketball, dribbles it back here out to the front court.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing of having a kid like Burton that can handle the basketball just one-on-one by himself. You can put the ball in his hands, and there he is driving through the lane and plays it off to McDaniel. Augusta with no intention of scoring unless it's a layup. Burton with it. Again, you don't want to foul him. Burton driving in. Ball knocked out of his hands by McCauley, but then it ricocheted off of Acosta and out of bounds. Yeah, Burton almost got a little too cute there. He certainly was having his way there for 30 seconds, and is a great, he's a great point guard that handles the ball well.
but I'm not sure. He's kind of going into the paint and then coming back through again, and that's where the traffic's at this point for the Vikings.
And again, it's Augusta in that, now a foul of Burton with 1:16 to go. 19 fouls, so this will be the last 1-1 for Augusta.
And I really don't mind that there, to be honest. He just proved that they ate 45 seconds off the clock like we talked about. Burton's only 2 for 4 tonight. I think you've got to make that decision to try to save possession pretty quickly. Now, if Burton nails both free throws here, you maybe don't foul so quickly the next time down.
And he misses the front end of the 1-1. Rebound Winfield. Yingling getting past Burton, drives in, kicks off to Moore. Don't need a 3. Kyan Toll, top of the key 3, missing. Rebound to Augusta. They feed it over to Burton. Long pass here to the near side, Livingston. And Livingston will be fouled. And that foul will go against Kyan Tolles. Livingston takes a little bit of umbrage there. But again, when you kind of grab the ball and just cradle it like a football, well, you're almost inviting a little bit of that. Fourth foul on Tolles.
Yeah, that's one of the little nuances of basketball as a coach that I've always and I don't know, what kind of a free throw shooter Livingston is. He may be the best free throw shooter on the team. 2 for 4 tonight. You can always tell when somebody, it's good that they want the ball.
Yeah.
But you'll have times where somebody that isn't your best free throw shooter knows the moment, knows I'm going to get to the line here. So they'll tuck it in there, and it's a split thing. You're glad that they have the confidence to do that.
1 out of 2 for Livingston. 50-44 Augusta. Winfield needs a hit here of some sort. Cameron Moore with it left side. Whips it to Acosta behind the free throw line. Now McCauley, a deep 3 on the way. No good. Rebound. Tolles fighting, ball loose. Yingling's got it over to Cameron Moore. Now McCauley. McCauley looking to drive. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound to Augusta with 33 seconds to go. And a foul on the Vikings. Down 6, Matt. 32 seconds to go. Double bonus here for Burton.
Yeah, probably a chance this becomes a 3-possession game. It's not over. It's certainly not over, but it gets a little tougher when you cross into that threshold.
So, first free throw coming up from Burton is good.
I really thought McCauley had a look on that first pass when we kind of had to scrum for the basketball in the paint, and they kicked it out to McCauley. It looked like he had an open look there from the left wing. He elected to pump fake and then ended up taking a more difficult one on that fadeaway from the baseline. But certainly a scramble moment that there's no really right or wrong decision at that point. You just got to get a shot up.
Burton hits both free throws. 52-44 Augusta. And another shoe gets lost. This time it's Cameron Moore. Adam Moore's the three-pointer, no good. Rebound, run down by Winfield. McCauley with it. Over to Yingling. Yingling pushing it up. And a blocking foul on Augusta. Twice tonight we've seen guys come out of their shoes.
First, there's got to be a reason. Are they not laced them up as well?
I just slide it on like just
there. It means it's not on.
That's how my tennis shoes are on. I can slide them. I don't have to tie them. Riley Yingling will shoot 2 here. With 16 seconds to go, a great effort here from Winfield, but boy, unless something miraculous happens, this is going to be a tough one to pull out here. Yours just with some clutch shooting here.
Yeah, they need a couple of makes right here, and then a steal on the inbounds. Riley England can make this a 2-possession game here with a couple of free throws, but a free throw contest at this point won't win it, so the Vikings are going to have to get a quick turnover on the inbounds and then a quick score.
First free throw from Yingling is no good. Winfield has not been the line much tonight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 free throws attempted tonight, only 3 made. And again, Augusta has been to the line a lot more. Second free throw from Yingling. That one's good. And that's not a commentary saying this. It's the officials' fault. They've been fouled more tonight.
Yeah, and it's been a physical basketball game on both ends. I mean, the refs, in defense of them, I mean, there's nothing to defend, but these are hard games to call, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If people get so angry at the referees for missing that call, and this has been a highly contested, very physical, a little bit of a scattered game. I mean, that's a tough game for an official to call because there's been a lot of moments where they've had to make a decision to blow the whistle again, to slow the game down, or to keep letting it play. And quite honestly, I would say all in all, considering the kind of game that's been played, they've officiated pretty well tonight.
I feel like that too. So Augusta to play it in, they've got everyone on the baseline, and they all sprint down floor, and then Burton comes back, and he is going to be fouled by Cameron Moore with 15 seconds to go, and Josh Burton, who is 4 out of 5 at the line here in the fourth quarter, will shoot 2 more.
I like that. That was an interesting inbound play. The press break, I mean. But as soon as, which is legal, right? He absolutely went out of bounds. Yeah, because it was after a made basket. I meant as much when they noticed that Winfield wasn't in a zone press and they were in a man-to-man trying to all-out deny.
53-45 after that first made free throw.
Coach Livingston just took it. I didn't say that right.
Petty?
Coach Petty, I'm sorry. When he saw they were in a man-to-man, he just ran everybody down and had Burton cut back by himself and took the defense away from the play and allowed Burton basically to go. Now, Woods and Moore both double-teamed him down there, but that was an interesting play is my point, to draw the defense away.
54-45, Acosta, a quick three, that's no good. Rebound loose, Yingling's got it in the corner. McCauley for a three, that's no good. Rebound still loose, and Augusta's got it. Ben Ponce says now it's not foul anymore. And the Augusta Orioles, again, they just, last few years, Matt, of doing these games together, they have that oxy, that winning mentality. When you think about how they've executed at the end of each of the first, second, and third quarters, I mean, boy, when they need something, they seem to be able to really draw it up and get it done. And a little part of that is just having home court advantage and being experienced. And because this is one of the better games, especially after that first quarter that the Vikings have played. You know, there's only 3 in this year, but gosh, you love the fight and the grit. But Augusta here in front of their home crowd at the end of the game when it was tight, they made free throws when they needed to. They got a couple of big turnovers. Yeah, I mean, that's a little of that edge just goes to the home court advantage and some of the experience that a winning pedigree brings. So a 54-45 win for Augusta in the boys game. We get a split here tonight. We'll take a timeout. Our Viking boys post-game show is coming up after this. You're listening to Viking basketball on KSOK.
Give them a little sunshine and watch them grow. That's the philosophy at Sunshine Daycare in Winfield, a privately owned full daycare facility. They offer appropriate play experiences, learning activities, and nutritious meals. And they pray before each meal. At Sunshine Daycare, the day is divided into many short periods filled with a variety of activities, like songs and crafts. Care is provided for children 2 weeks to 12 years of age. They're open until 6:30 p.m., making them a great after-school solution. Sunshine Daycare, just off of 77 Highway, south of Winfield, or call 221-1177.
The deer are on the move, and it's not your vehicle that's in their sights. Where there's one, there's more. Use extra caution by using high beams as much as possible. If hitting the deer cannot be avoided, do not swerve. This could result in losing more than your vehicle. If a collision happens, call Pools Body Shop, where you'll find iCar Gold technicians with over 20 years of experience. At Pools, we specialize in personal service, quality workmanship, and getting the job done right the first time. We're also your Hertz car rental location and the Dirtson Building Dealer, 1925 East 9th in Winfield, Kansas.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. As the #1 ag insurer in our territory, they offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, your machinery, your livestock, and so much more. With customized coverage in one policy, with one premium and one deductible, you can count on Farm Bureau agent Craig Reed in Winfield to help protect what matters most. Now that's smarter insurance for agriculture.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
If your car's not performing the way it should, you don't have to do business with a stranger to get it fixed. Visit Merle Snyder Auto Care Center in Winfield. With over 150 years experience from just half of their employees, Merle Snyder Auto Care Center has familiar faces you know and trust. Merle Snyder Auto Care Center has awesome deals on tires and a complete service department. Check out the Napa Auto Care Easy Pay promo card. It's fast and easy to apply, subject to credit approval. Your one-stop shop for all your automotive repairs is Merle Snyder Auto Care Center at 1021 Country Club Road in Winfield and online at merlesnyder.com. Grouse Valley Equipment in Dexter is proud to be your authorized Hustler turf equipment dealer. Since 1964, Hustler Turf has been a leading brand in the outdoor power equipment industry. Hustler's brand signifies innovation, quality, strength, performance, and superior customer care. There's really nothing better than stepping onto a Hustler and feeling the quality and pride of American craftsmanship at work. Stop by Grouse Valley Equipment in Dexter today and see for yourself why you should join the Hustler Turf Equipment family. And remember, family takes care of family even after the sale. Grouse Valley Equipment has a fine service department to take care of you through the lifetime of your Hustler equipment. Stop by Grouse Valley Equipment today at 115 North Main in Dexter or visit online at grousevalley.equipment.hustlerdealers.com.
Certainly, to your point at the end of before we went to that commercial, Matt, I mean, the home court, little experience, just kind of that, this is an Augusta program that has been doing a lot of winning lately, and you have a Winfield program that's still fighting. They're getting closer. But again, some of those things, you wouldn't think so, but I think at the end of the day, those things do matter, don't they? I mean, that whole culture and just success breeds success.
Yeah, there's no question it matters. And when you're on your home court like that in a tight game and, instead of the opposing fans yelling air ball when you miss a shot, you've got them rooting for you and giving you energy. And there's no question something to be said about home court advantage. And then on top of that, they've definitely built themselves a culture here of winning basketball. And, you're coming off of a state tournament run. I mean, it's an advantage to have that when you're in the house. I know, we already had the Chipotle chalk, man.
Easy now. Ben Ponce is joining me now. So, Ben Ponce joining us here for our Viking postgame show. Coach, a 54-45 loss in this gym, which has been tough to play in. I thought your team showed terrific moxie, down 23-12. Matt was talking about, we were looking for that feel-good moment for this team. We went on a 10-0 run, got right back into this game, really made it an interesting game for the last three quarters, I thought.
Yeah, I was real proud of their efforts, and I that's what I told them. I don't have anything negative to say about how we played. They hit a couple easy baskets, yes, but because of that stuff. But we were definitely in their head. I thought when we got up 33-32, kind of went away from what was working, which was driving right at them and going at them and scoring in 2 feet and then kicking out if we needed to. But we got a little trigger happy on the outside, and that didn't. It led to long rebounds and transition for them, and they did a good job of pushing the ball at times, and we were gambling for steals.
The execution by Augusta at the end of the first, second, and third quarter to get baskets, and then it seemed like every time they got the ball to start the next quarter, was huge for them, I thought.
Yeah. 25 is a big boy down there, and normally out of that little stack set that they run at the elbows, they usually just try to drive it on there. And they did a great job of getting him sealed so deep that, there was just really nothing we could do about it other than foul. And we were out of position to foul. So it's just one of those situations where you just want to let them have the easy two instead of giving them more momentum, putting them on the free throw line and getting our guys foul. But, yeah, they did execute well there.
When you look at your team offensively today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys scored. No one in double digits, but a lot of guys contributing. What are your feelings? What's your thoughts on how your offense performed tonight?
We thought we would be able to. We think we can drive it on pretty much anybody. And Riley, Armand, Cameron Hall, Cayenne, they all did a great job of getting to the basket and forcing help and finishing. And our transition was pretty solid too when we get the ball off the floor. I thought Niall was great, rebounding, going for offense and glass. And Ian, he was doing a good job of scoring the ball, but, there's a couple of them, I think maybe his legs weren't there for him on a couple of threes we needed. But, then you got Adam Woods that comes in and knocks 2 threes down that were huge at the time, So, we're starting to come together, and I told him, this is what I just told him in the locker room. We don't want to be playing our best basketball in December. And it's going to take a minute to get the group together the way it is, but we know we play 10, maybe 11 guys tonight. 11, I think. But the rhythm is getting there, and I think we're headed towards good things.
Talk a little bit about the switch. You came out in the zone and switched to the man-to-man, I think, in the second quarter. And I thought it really changed the tempo and the rhythm of your game. I felt like we turned up the intensity at that point, and then in the second half, that man-to-man really led to some turnovers and got us out in transition. Talk a little bit about switching from the man to the zone to the man-to-man. And
Well,
what that does for you guys.
Coach Sims kind of had a good idea the other day. We was watching the film. He thought, let's play a little bit of small ball with the second unit and kind of just see how fast we can speed people up. Because Kyan is used to playing the 5, but we kind of taken him off that a little bit this year because we got a little bit more size. But we thought we could, with that group, with him and Cam and Armand, Tony and Adam, we would just try to go full out and the full court pressure and see if we could turn them over, in which we were able to. And that was kind of when we got some transition baskets as well.
Adam Woods off your bench, it's been fun. He and Julian Washington are 2 guys that Matt and I have really brought something to your team that at least us from the outside weren't sure they were going to bring to your team this early in the season. Talk about those 2.
Yeah, Adam's real confident shooting. I mean, he does a great job. I mean, he has put in the time. That's kind of why he is in the rotation where he's at, because he can knock down threes and stretch the floor for us. But Julian has been a pleasant surprise. I've always known he's had some ability, but he's really focused in on getting to the basket and just doing all the little things. He doesn't score a ton, but when he does, it's an impactful layup like he got tonight, and then it's an impactful rebound, and it's great defense. And he kind of got out of rhythm a little bit tonight, picking up 2 early fouls. But luckily, we had enough depth to go ahead and I don't want to say replace him, but somebody to step up, because we got him and Tyan, and then another guy I think got 2 early fouls each, and that's where our depth is going to hopefully pay off in the long run.
The next challenge for your team Friday night at home against El Dorado. I know they got the Burke Stresser kid who's really good. What do you know about El Dorado?
Yeah, they're very similar to us, actually. We're a little bit deeper, in my opinion, but they got some guards that can really shoot the ball, and they're going to look to try to attack the basket. They got one big kid crossing. He could be a handful down there, but I mean, he's not really the looking to just get it on the block and score. He'll facilitate from down there a little bit. But they got one kid, I can't think of what his name is right now, but man, he can get to the basket. A little left-handed, he's an athlete. And if we got to keep him off of getting to the basket and keep him off the glass and close out to their shooters, I mean, that's what's going to be important for us that night.
Well, great effort here tonight, Coach. I know it's not the result you wanted, but I thought marked improvement from what we saw from Game 1 to Game 2 to this third game.
Yeah, we're working. We're going to get there, but it's a little frustrating. The kids are getting a little frustrated, but I mean, what we told them tonight is that they play for each other, and that's what it's all about. And then the ball went in a little bit more tonight, so if we can just keep building on that with our defensive intensity, I think we'll be okay.
Appreciate your time. We'll see you Friday.
All right, nice job, Coach.
Ben Ponce joining us here in our post-game show, recapping the scoring real quick. I hear Matt Tolles, Yingling, and McCauley all with 7. Woods and Teal with 6. Cameron Moore, 3, along with Armand Acosta. 2 for Franklin and 2 for Trumpauer. Josh Burton had 18, Caden McDaniel 15 to lead Augusta tonight. And, for this Winfield team, it's going to be interesting. I think we talked about this the other night with Clearwater. Is, again, there's a lot of bodies. And, what is the right rotation?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe still searching for that. And it's not like it's that easy to come up with, because every night, especially in the high school game, you might get a different effort from different players.
And it's a really interesting issue to have 9 guys score like that, and have 3 that have 7, I think.
Yep.
So, and I don't want to turn this negative because it's not, but you still need somebody that when you need a bucket, you can put the ball in their hands and they can at least get you that shot that you have to have or that bucket you have to have. And while that kind of balanced scoring is fantastic, somebody from this team still really needs to kind of emerge as the leader and the go-to, and balance scoring is wonderful. Depth is wonderful, especially in a physical game like this. They played great defense tonight, had some foul issues, but that's when you have the depth. But we used to call them dudes when I coached college basketball. You got to have a dude. You got to have somebody that you can say, here's the basketball. We're going to either go 1-4 high and spread it out, let you go to the rack. And I think Winfield is still looking for that. They've got some, Augusta and Riley. I think Riley Yingling showed me something from that standpoint tonight that he didn't have last year from a finishing standpoint. But, gosh, if you're going to have, again, I'm not going to call this a negative or a problem. That's a great problem to have, and you got 9 kids scoring for you. But somebody's got to emerge as the go-to, for lack of a better term.
Well, you look at Augusta. They had their dude. Burton came up with 18, including 9 points in the fourth quarter, and you got McDaniel, who had 7 in the first half, 8 in the third quarter. So they had their guys. McDaniel in the third quarter, Burton in the fourth quarter, and other guys kind of chipping away here and there. But I think your point. I know it's a hard thing, and it's not something you just say in practice and say, okay, I need someone to be that guy. It could be a different guy every night, but someone, you just need someone that just can get it going.
And you just said it. You almost don't want to identify it as a coach. You want somebody to emerge and kind of take over that spot. And, certainly Coach Ponce is looking for that. I think there's some guys on this team that can do that. I'm still kind of looking for Ian McCauley a little bit. He showed some flashes tonight, I think, that we hadn't necessarily seen yet, but there were some points in the season last year where we talked about moral victories that we all hate in games that they battled but couldn't get over the hump. But something was different tonight about the game and the way they played after initially getting down 23-12. Something was different about the edge that they played with, and I felt like they showed a little more than they had, especially on the road in a place like this for the team that's coming off the state tournament run. I think Coach Ponce is right where it's coming. It's coming, and tonight was a nice step in the right direction. They've been pretty flat, really, the first 2 games. Not a lot of spark offensively. Tonight on the road, they brought something. We were talking about it in the first quarter, that little run. They had that little run, and it did seem to catapult them and then kept them in the game, where in games past, they would have that little lull, and that little lull would take them the other way. So a lot of positives tonight for sure. And, man, I love doing this with you. Seriously. Like 2 guys sitting here talking basketball.
Even though I didn't bring you food.
You know what? I'm going to cut you some slack tonight. You're still my guy. This has been fun.
It was a fun night of basketball. The Winfield girls winning tonight 48-34. They moved to 2-1 on the season. The Viking boys falling to 0-3 with a 54-45 loss. Our next broadcast will be on Friday night from the friendly confines of Ollie Thomas Gymnasium, El Dorado at Winfield here on Friday night. So, for in-studio engineer Eddie Carmichael, for Matt Shelton, Kurt Caton, bidding you good night, asking you to choose joy. Stay tuned. More of today's best country coming up next on FM 95.9 KSOK.
The most listened to station in Cowley County. 95.9 KSOK FM, Winfield, Ark City.